Your movies have a very photographic look, like the framing and the way you make the composition with the people and all the objects around the scene. So I want to ask you if you have any particular relationship with photography, okay? And the second question is if black and white in some way it's part of your language, because from what I know, and I didn't saw all your movies, you have one or maybe two movies in color, I think. The Man of London, no? So
that was black and white.
That was black and white, okay, sorry. But I want to know if there's some particular issue with black and white or if not.
About the photography, yeah, I like to make myself pictures. This makes my cinematographers mad, because before everything I'm going for the locations counting and I'm making some pictures. And then afterwards, when we are in the set, I'm pushing my cinematographers to fulfill my pictures. And this is how I have a lot of pictures. And sometimes when I'm going for the locations counting with the cinematographer, and he is doing the picture, in this case I'm pushing him to do on my way. I like very much the symmetrical pictures, and I like very much the space. It's very simple structure. Really, if you see my pictures, they have a very simple structure. Since the Renaissance, very well known. And the second thing about the black and white, the black and white is very colorful. You know, there is a grayscale. And you know what is the main issue? If you are brave enough to, let's say, just leave it in black, half of the picture, and you're just giving light for the main issue that you want to really show. And plus the grayscale, it's totally working. I do not need this kind of fake colors. Really, I was doing color films when I had a feeling the color has a kind of dramaturgical function. When I can do something with the colors. If not, it's better to do black and white.
First of all, I have two questions. The first one was answered in part with one of the previous questions, which was, what's your opinion on two of my favorite directors, which in this case are Tarkovsky and Ingmar Bergman?
I told you what I think about Bergman.
Exactly, that's why I said.
Okay, now it's just Tarkovsky.
And the second question is, do you have, as a spectator of course, because you have already answered it, as a filmmaker, which I found your answer about the actors brilliant, as a watcher, as a spectator, I'm sorry, do you have any module for the actor? Do you have any, I wouldn't say favorite, because favorite is a very difficult word to answer. If you have any actors that you like particularly, for example, Liv Ullmann, Humphrey Bogart, Stanislav,
Favorite actor?
Sorry?
Favorite actors, actresses? I don't know. You know, because how can I say someone is great or not? I don't know, honestly. I don't have favorite actress. Sorry, my hands are up. The second question is about, your first question is about, I think it's a bit piped. Thank you very much. Tarkovsky, we both, Jancho, Tarkovsky, and some other guys, we are Eastern Europeans. And for us, this lowland and this kind of landscape, it's very important. And of course, the timing in those countries are different than, let's say, the United States. And, but you know what is the huge difference between Tarkovsky and me? He was religious. He believed in God. And when he had rain, it was cleaning. And my fucking rain is just making mud, stocking you. And this is the difference. Why I have some, of course, one of my favorite films is Andrei Lubiev. But the others, when his religious stuff grew and became more and more stronger, they became more and more far from me because we already make it clear with you, I don't believe the God. And that's a little bit make me hard to watch his movies because it's disturbing me. But of course, I see and I saw them, and I respect very much his incredible talent, and of course the way of the filming and how he is capable to show the world. It's something, but that's the point where I feel my distance from his movies.
Hello. I see prodigious amount of geometrical figures in your images, squares, circles, rectangles, rhombus, everything in almost each image of the several films. And I would like to hear you about your relationship with geometry and also from that with painting. Thank you.
The geometry, I don't know, maybe it's coming from my stupid brain, how I try to make an order. I want to make an order in my life. It's a big effort. The other, about the paintings, I have to tell you, I learned a lot of things. I learned the filmmaking from the paintings and from the rock and roll. The paintings, you know, when I see Bruegel, or when I see Van Gogh, or when I see Hieronymus Bosch, it's inspired me very much and touched me. And of course, when I'm hearing the lurid songs, how he's walking in New York, and the monotony, which we did not talk about the monotony, and we did not talk about a lot of things, but about the paintings, surely, when I'm watching a bridal picture, and when I see how different faces are there, it's not about the story, about the life, and it's deeply touched me. And of course, I was really definitely quoted, for example, the Montaigne picture in the Turin horse. I was simple stealing because I love very much his picture, and it's touched me. And And why not? As I told you, the film is picture, written, sound, human faces, eyes, and real human situation. That's all.
Hello. Thank you for being here. I thought it was very interesting yesterday or before yesterday when you were saying that as a film student you were almost never going to the school. And so I wanted to ask you about the film factory, about your relationship with your students, and about the values that you want to pass on to them and how it works in general.
You know, fortunately, I have a lucky situation. Here are two guys from, let's say, my school, and Stefan can explain to you what is this. Give him the microphone. And I would like to be resting a bit.
Is it working? Yeah. Hello, I'm Stefan. I'm from Belgrade, from Serbia, and I just half a year ago I finished Béla school. Well, you know, it might sound like a phrase, like a motto, but one of the first things that Béla said when we got there is that he doesn't want to educate, he wants to liberate. And it sounds like a big thing, but for me, the film factory was really a place where I'm able to develop myself. So it's like just giving you enough space to be able to grow and not imposing any kind of method or didactic thing. So we had, besides Béla, we had at least 20 different influential filmmakers coming over, like Fred Kelman, Rasmus Sant, Carlos Regadas, and all these people, the Quay brothers. They have really different approach to filmmaking. They have different, different ideas, and through, you know, sometimes a lot of these people will come and they would tell things that we agree with or things that we disagree with, but just talking to them, arguing with them, making something with them, like when Guy Madden came, we made a short film together. All this experience enriches you and makes it possible for you to position yourself in the filmmaking world and in your head, like what exactly is it that you want to do and how you want to do it. And for me, the most rewarding thing about Film Factory was the fact that Béla was never imposing a certain style or a certain approach or a certain idea about life. Like most of the people in Film Factory are like Béla atheists. I'm not, and you know, we never had problems with this. So ideologically or through film language or through anything, you were completely free to do whatever you want, which can sometimes be scary, you know. But I would also love to mention that it was not only the filmmakers that came as visiting professors, it was the fact that our class was consisting of people from all over the world. So I had colleagues from Japan, England, Norway, Poland, whatever, and just being in this big mess of, you know, different influences, I think helps your work become more universal and you realize, again, your own position in it. So it wasn't really a school, but we never really had normal lectures. The level of freedom that we had as students was also the level of freedom that the visiting lecturers had. And so they would come, Béla would just give them 2 weeks and they would do whatever they want, you know. So like some people would just come and show their films, some would talk about philosophy, some would not even talk about films. Like with the Pichapong, we would go to the forest and meditate and things like this. So for me it was a big ride, but the real responsibility was in each of us. So sometimes people were not getting what they expect because you don't really know what to expect. It's not like other schools where you have an idea what this school is or what is the method, and then you think, is it good for me or not? It's kind of like facing yourself. I don't know. And we had a lot of problems on the administrative side with the university, but that's not going to be.
Okay, now you heard what I'm doing now.
Thank you. I think it's a perfect way to end this debate. Béla Tarr will be here tomorrow for one last time just to present Second Tango briefly. And I envy personally all of you who maybe haven't seen the film and will see the film for the first time, because it really, I was one of those who decided everything during the first 5 minutes, during the first shot, and it changed my life.
I just wanted to say a really big thanks for you, because you know, now you have a chance to see those films on the 35mm prints, which is now in this digital world is a real gift. You can see the film how it was made, without any manipulation or fucked up digital shit. Anyway, thanks for your attention and see you tomorrow.